American blacks had the highest death rate from COVID of any population on earth, 3,000 per million population. Haitian blacks, we were told Haiti and Africa aren't going to get killed by COVID because they're too poor to afford the vaccine. Haiti had a 1.3% vaccination rate, but it only had 14 deaths per million population. That's 1/200th of what we had.
Wow, yeah.
Nigeria had a 1.3% vaccination rate. Same thing, 14 deaths per million population.
What do you think the reasons for that?
Well, the reasons are a bunch of reasons. One, really bad management of COVID. Two, black Americans have the highest chronic disease rate. They're the highest rate of diabetes, the highest rate of hypertension, the highest rate of cardiac arrest, the highest rate of cancer of anybody in America. They're in the, they're given the worst pharmaceutical drugs. They're given the worst vaccines. They're given the vaccines with the mercury in them. The flu vaccines are going to go to black neighborhoods, black clinics. Beginning around 2008, the Wall Street began consolidating the hospital industry, and they closed all the community hospitals in black neighborhoods. And because of that, the hospitals that blacks now go to in this country are corporate owned by Wall Street. And what they found out during the COVID is that they could keep family members away from their elderly parents who were dying in that hospital. The hospitals were getting paid huge amounts of money if somebody died from COVID, much higher than if you survived. There was a death bonus from COVID. There was a bonus for giving people really dangerous treatments like intubation, which was sure to kill you, and remdesivir, which was sure to kill you. And what they found out is they could get away with it because family members could not go in there and complain about treatment of their parents. So you saw this huge death spike among African Americans, and nobody's asking about it. Why is nobody in the government saying, why did we have 200 times the death rate of the poorest country in the hemisphere? Why did we have 200 times the death rate in black Americans that blacks in Nigeria had?
Well, because someone's making money. That's why, a lot of money.
Yeah,
that's
people are making money.
And so my question is this. You coming in there, you can make changes. It's hard to get people who are making money to stop making money. You think you just can walk in there and say,
I know how to do
all
it.
this?
I mean, my whole career, I've spent suing these agencies. I've sued EPA probably more than any attorney in the country, hundreds of times. I've sued CDC, I've sued NIH, I've sued FDA. I'm right now involved in litigation against the Department of Transport, U.S. DOT, because I'm representing 1,000 families in East Palestine, Ohio, whose lives were upended by the Norfolk Southern spill, which happened because of corrupt regulation. I've sued the Federal Communications Commission successfully. I argued a case in the Court of Appeals last year because they're for lying to the public about the dangers of cell phone radiation. All of these agencies are, this is where this corrupt merger of state and corporate power that has destroyed the middle class in this country, that has put us into a warfare state, a surveillance state at home, an imperial state abroad. The manipulation of the Fed, which has destroyed equity in black communities. The black communities lost virtually all of their equity during COVID.
Wow.
COVID closed 3.3 million businesses with no due process, no just compensation, no scientific citations, no public hearings or anything like that. They just ordered them all shut. 41% of the black-owned businesses that shut during COVID will never reopen.
Wow.
And a lot of these businesses had generations of equity in them. Even something like a barber shop, like a restaurant. I was in Harvard Lee, which is the poorest community in Cleveland, several weeks ago, and there was a booming, black mercantile area in the principal road. Every one of those is now plywood. Every one of those stores. There are two businesses left in that community, and one of them is a sausage company that's been operating for 75 years. They're closing down because all the bad black banks are now closed, and black communities have no access to capital. And that's what we need to do.
Okay.
We need to get capital back into the black communities.
If you like that clip, hit the subscribe button or the notification bell. In fact, why don't you hit both of them?